Hello everyone, welcome to another battle report, this time with the new Codex. I'm using this as a chance to test out strike squads and interceptors. Quick overview is 1,000 points. Grandmaster and Nemesis Dread Knight is my warlord. He has the sword and side cannon, which is still in the box. He'll have that in a moment. 5 strikes in a squad. 4 of them have swords, 1 of them has a hammer. This is my test game to see how I want to build the majority of my guys. So, primed black guys will be the guys with the hammers, just so they stand out really well. And then 2 5-man interceptors, whatever they're called. Sergeants have hammers and everyone else has swords again. And a Land Raider, I think Redeemer. I just wrote down Land Raider because which type doesn't matter to me. It does have the Flamestorm cannons on both sides and the twin assault cannon. I also paid for the Multi-Melta and the Stormbolter because the Stormbolter was literally my last 5 points and I decided to use it. I am using the Brotherhood of the Rapiers. The Warlord trait has been given to my Warlord. It is he can advance and charge. I also paid a CP to give him first to the fray, which gives him +1 to advance and +1 to charge. So both of those work very well together. And he has the relic that when you shoot at him, once per game, he can teleport away. I'm using Tide of Convergence, the +in to psi weapons. He is the only one with a psi weapon, however, it will get 30-inch instead of 24. And all of my close combat, except for the Land Raider, has 6 to wound. They get an additional wound, or do a mortal wound in addition. And then the Dread Knight has Vortex of Doom and Gate of Infinity and Smite. The Strike Squad only knows Hammerhand and Smite. And then the other guys know Ethereal Castigation. Sorry, my writing's not very good. And Smite. And that is my 1,000 point list. Again, the main focus to see how swords and hammer do. They're okay for the point value. I mean, obviously swords are free, but 5-man squads is how I'm probably going to run. And we'll see how it goes. On to the 1,000 Suns. Okay, 1,000 points of 1,000 Suns. We have a decked out Demon Prince. We have a 5-man squad with the machine gun and 3 flamers. A 10-man squad with machine gun and bolters. They both have the icon of flame. We have sorcerer on disc. We have 6 terminators. This guy here is proxying as a normal dude. We do have the missile rack and big gun. And I am not going to go through the psychic powers or abilities because I don't know any of them. I do know that the sergeants have extra upgrades to buff the unit and psychic powers that this squad, I believe, can heal. This guy here can heal and bring guys back. So, Terminators are not going to be fun. They will die. Probably not, though, because they're Terminators. And me, personally, I always have a hard time killing Terminators. So, Demon Prince, though, is the Warlord. He's got Warlord traits and spells. And we'll go through those as we cast them after the Psychic Phase roundup. And that is it. See you soon. Okay, and here we have our battlefield. We are rolling, this is our deployment zone. It's actually the opposite of what this one is. We just did it, whoever picked. I picked this side, he went to the opposite. I have my Dread Knight, my Land Raider with 2 strike squads in it, and then my 2 jump guys in Teleportarium or whatever variant Deep Strike it is. He's got Rubric Marines, Sorcerer, Rubric Marines, Demon Prince, and a unit of Terminators in his Deep Strike. The twist for this game is add 1 to the move of all models and add 1 to advance and charge rolls. So that'll make this pretty quick. And then the objective, the prize. So we have a shiny gold thing in the middle. Whoever captures it can pick it up, and then they can run around the board with it. We're playing football. If they lose it, it goes next to them, and then it's just like an objective. Whoever has it wins. That's it. 5 rounds. So we will do the roll off. It is a 3. Oh, glare. That is a 5. We can see the dice very clear. The light in this room is not very good, so the glare. So on to Grey Knights, turn 1. Okay, very exciting yet not exciting. Turn 1 for Grey Knights. These two moved this way ever so slightly just to get line of sight down the field to these guys. I was able to kill these 3. I didn't even attempt Psychic Powers because everyone's either in a vehicle or the Dread Knight, who I didn't want to rush up against a full army just yet. And that was it. That was my entire turn. He was able to 5-up invul both my multi-melta shots, so that almost could have been the whole squad. That's it. On to Thousand Suns, turn 1. Okay, well, an awesome turn 1 for the Thousand Suns. Those guys moved up, and then they used the Psychic Power to move again. These guys moved up over here. The Demon Prince hid behind those barrels, or the crate, but had line of sight so it could still target, and did a whole bunch of wounds to the Land Raider. Then he decided to charge. Took a couple wounds on Overwatch because I could see him. He didn't quite have enough movement to get out of line of sight. And then he consolidated into those guys, who were able to do a couple more wounds to him. So he's down to 2, but he killed the Land Raider. No one died when we got out. And this little guy, with his pistol, strength 3 flamer pistol, got 3 wounds through on the Land Raider. Toughness 8, needing 6s, got 3. So yeah, Land Raider, all 16 wounds down. And yeah, definitely not good for me. I wanted my Land Raider to shoot and do stuff. But as it is, on to Grey Knights, turn 2. Okay, so we killed the Demon Prince. Then he came back with 2 wounds because of D3 stratagem, I think it was, relic. And then we were able to kill him. Literally took a lot. Those guys fell back though, so they did absolutely nothing. They got to watch. These guys ended up finishing the Demon Prince in an assault and moved 3 inches closer towards this guy, the Sorcerer, who survived the Dread Knight attack. I went with the ×2 attacks for 12 attacks because I was hitting on 2s, wounding on 3s, 2 damage, invul only. So it just seemed volume was better, especially with my 6s to wound, do mortal wounds. But didn't do any of those, so he survived on 1 wound. Came back. I'm not at 1 wound, I've taken 1 wound, we just don't want to use big dice yet. And then these guys came in from way over there. They made a long bomb charge. We have +1 to our charge due to the twist, I think. And they were able to cut down a bunch of guys who came back to do no damage. He rolled really bad on his to wound. And we killed that. The Demon Prince and some boys. And then he actually used his last command points for this unit after I deep struck to shoot these guys and actually killed 2 of them in my movement phase, which hurt. And might be hard to see, 1 guy has taken a wound in addition. So 5 wounds went through. And we're on to Thousand Suns turn 2, and we're going to see the Terminators come into play. There, yeah. Okay, so I think the Grey Knight turn... No, the Thousand Suns turn went better for the Grey Knights than the Thousand Suns. These guys lost 2 guys right here, dead. This guy took some more wounds in the psychic phase. He took a wound in the psychic phase. And then in close combat, the Dread Knight killed these guys. 1 guy was on 1 wound, and the Sorcerer was on 1 wound, so it wasn't actually a ton of wounds, but it was just enough to get through, especially with those mortal wounds sneaking in. And on to Grey Knights, turn 3. Okay, these guys moved and advanced up, just in case went later turns. And then everything moved, shot, psychicked, and charged the Terminators. I was able to kill the whole squad. The Dread Knight did most of it, but some of them got some smites through. And that was it. Until next time.